than I have in 3 weeks.
Good,
So that means a lot.
good, good, good. It's hard to work when you're under the weather. Hello, everyone, and welcome to Chef AJ and Friends. I'm your host, Chef AJ, and I have a real friend on today in real life. She's my friend, and her name is Kathy Hester, and I call her a wizard because she is magical in what she can create in the whole food plant-based world. Because whatever you tell her, I can't have gluten, I can't have nuts, I can't have this or that, and salt, she can make it. It's amazing. And regardless of how she eats or used to eat or is going to eat, she can include everybody in her recipes because she just is magical that way. Please welcome Kathy Hester. Hello, Kathy.
It's always so awesome to be on your show. I know Bundle Week is tiring. You have been like hitting it.
It is very tiring. And before we start, there's a question from Elizabeth, and she says, can you explain to me what the bundle is? Absolutely. I actually did a video the very first day of the bundle, March 1st. You don't have to watch it, but that's really, really explains it. So a bundle means something is bundled together like a package. And they've had these for years in business, but there's business bundles and yoga bundles and meditation bundles. This is called the vegan health bundle. And this is the 4th year that I've been involved in it. And what's different about our bundle than other bundles is we're not just vegan, but we are, I think, the only bundle that insists on being oil free, which is why we have so many doctors as contributors like Dr. Joel Furman and Dr. John McDougall every year and more. And so what it is we all, meaning chefs, influencers, doctors, yoga teachers, meditation teachers, anyone who's vegan that has a product, a virtual product, because obviously we can't send you $5,500 worth of books and DVDs, puts them all together for a very short period of time, in this case, 10 days, where if you bought them separately for each of the 83 people, it would cost you $5,500. But for this period of time, it's only $49. It's not a joke. It's not a trick. If you just click on the link that I'm going to post, you can just look at everything yourself. I did go through that in the video. And it's fabulous. So, like, there's things that you can't get anywhere else. So, for example, Dr. McDougall, who passed away, used to do these wonderful conferences called Advanced Study Weekends that I had the privilege of speaking at 3 times. And so these were exclusive videos. There's 18 hours of his videos. A conference that I sell for $97 that I just produced here with some fabulous speakers like Dr. Neil Nedley and Dr. Roger Schwelt, who has almost 2 million followers on YouTube with his scientific lectures. This is, 6 hours of a conference that I sell for $97 for $49. And so pretty much all the products are worth more than what you're paying. So even if you don't have to use all 83 items, but there's long meditation courses and yoga courses, but lots and lots of recipe books that are oil free, and they're pretty much sugar and salt free. Our chefs generally don't use them, and if they do, they say can be omitted or miso. But today's guest, Kathy Hester, has one of my favorite products in the bundle, and it's
Oh,
of course.
thank
Oh, it's true.
you.
I didn't just say that. I mean, because let me explain why it's my favorite. Well, first of all, everybody loves pizza. And it's funny because I'm having pizza for dinner tonight because company's coming over because we found this place that will do a gluten-free, oil-free pizza.
Oh, wow.
Absolutely, with 24 hours notice. But the problem is it's like $46. But Kathy has a course and it includes the PDFs. It's Pizza One and Pizza Two. But I watched it. It was 5 hours long. And what was
It's 2 classes, just so you know, and you don't need to sit through even all of one class. You can break it up to fit your schedule.
And I'll be honest, I sped it up. So it only took me 2.5 hours to watch, and I was doing it one day on the exercise bike and then the next day. Well, what Kathy did is she made the pizzas gluten-free, which I have to be gluten-free, with different things that you can make the crust out of, like lentils or quinoa. And the thing is the crusts are really very easy. She has a fantastic SOS-free pizza sauce. And she has a pourable mozzarella cheese. But what I particularly like about it is for those of us that eat a little bit on the lower fat side, that don't eat a lot of nuts and seeds, or some people that don't include them at all for whatever reason, allergies or following the Esselstyn program, she made it low fat. So it's pretty awesome. I have the recipes here somewhere. I printed them
I
out.
have them right over here too, so I can
Yeah, I printed them
it,
out,
they're made with pretty simple ingredients. So the cheeses, so there's one that you can make little mozzarella cheese balls and bake, and it stretches. It's tapioca starch that lets it stretch. So if you're not doing any kind of flours and tapioca flour isn't okay with you, You can
Yeah.
do it. It just won't thicken and stretch.
Listen, I haven't been involved in ultimate weight loss since like 2019. I eat bread, I eat salt, and sometimes a little sugar. So I got this reputation that I'm a mini gold hammer. I'm not, I swear. I just don't eat oil. Don't like it. Gives me a tummy ache.
Yeah, and in the courses, there's no oil. Also, there's no nuts. Or or to me, seeds. I always get confused. Quinoa is technically a seed, but we talk about
But
it like it's a grain.
yeah, but it's low calorie density. People don't struggle with quinoa like they do.
Right. I
Yeah.
I can't imagine, but like so it's not like there's no cashews or almonds or macadamia nuts or any of that stuff. Actually, my cheeses are rolled oat based. So that makes it cheap, easy to do. There are two ingredients, and I don't have the original packet for the lactic acid. You'll really want some lactic acid, and I gave Chef AJ some.
If you want, I can grab it. I mean, you have to talk to the audience, but I'll run and get it. If you could just,
Sure,
okay.
if you want to, whatever you want to do.
I'm
And then
gonna
I
be,
have some tapioca starch, is sometimes called tapioca flour. It's the same thing. It's very finely ground. And I saw that Chef Yin used some arrowroot instead, and that's not going to give that cheesy stretch. And here's the thing, I don't care if it gives the cheesy stretch if you're happy. If you have arrowroot and you're just like, I just want a nice cheesy sauce for my pizza, just know I support you 1,000%. It's easy peasy. And with the crusts, you soak them, you blend them, you can even like put different herbs with them. You can do so many different things. But it's hard, if not impossible, to find an oil-free vegan cheese you can buy, much less an oil-free, nut-free vegan cheese. And these, almost everything in this class, I make in a little beast blender. You can make in your Ninja or your NutriBullet or your Vitamix. So we're not talking about kneading dough. I do put a link to a whole wheat pizza crust from those you can have it. But these are all so easy because I find, Chef AJ, you and I have talked before too, is that people go, oh, I don't want to make that from scratch. It's going to be hard. And with the pizza crust, you could even make them once a week and make 4 or 5, put them in the freezer, and then you just pull it out one night when you just don't have that time. But then you're not getting a vegan pizza from somewhere or a cheeseless pizza from Domino's, which is still going to be full of fat, right?
absolutely. Well, Tammy Kramer made your pizza on her YouTube channel, and she sold everybody right away. So you gifted these to me, and now you said that the internet also said that these are pearls, but I could put them in a dry blender and make the starch. I make the powder that I need, right?
Yeah. Yeah, Reddit said that. I've never done it before because usually you take the powder to make the pearls, I think. So I don't know how it works back and forth, but you should be able to. Basically, it's almost like cornstarch is how it's very powdery once you do it.
Oh. And here's the lactic acid, and you can get this on Amazon.
Hmm.
Yeah, right here. It
And
says
it's vegan, it's made with beets, it's non-GMO.
that's
So
what it says. It says a sour flavor from beets.
So what the lactic acid does is it gives it that kind of fermented taste. So it takes it over the edge. So if I make a nacho cheese with oats or with beans, if I add a little lactic acid in there, it really elevates it a lot. So I think it's about $10 to $15 for a bag, and you will be hard pressed to use it up in 2 years. Like you have to be like really at it. So with the classes, I give you the crust, a couple of different sauces. I give you some different spice blends like a pepperoni, an Italian sausage blend. And with these spice blends, you can do a couple of things. We've been traveling on cruises a lot. So if I'm just having steamed vegetables and rice because there's nothing else, I can sprinkle a little bit of spice blend over there. We knew there was going to be some pizza on one boat. So I brought a pepperoni spice blend. So that way Cheryl felt like she was getting something a little more special. So they're good to travel with as well. And I know Chef AJ loves local spicery pepperoni. And I think you used my pepperoni before they had one. And ours are a little different. And if you like this one and want to add more things in, you can. But this is how hard It is to make this. So I'm going to take 3 tablespoons of smoked paprika or thereabouts. I may need to, I'm going to use some other, got another bottle ready. I use a lot of smoked paprika in general.
That's my favorite spice.
It's, it's so good because it's not spicy, but it adds so much flavor. And paprika is just a pepper, just in case anybody's wondering what weird thing it is. And you can creatively measure just like I did. This is too big to go in here. Close enough, it's fine because we're going to taste it. We can adjust it. It's going to do great. Then we're going to add 2 teaspoons of garlic. This is a half teaspoon, so I'm going to add 4 of these. Granulated garlic and granulated onion really bring spice blends alive. And if you are SOS free, my favorite plain salt substitute, 1 tablespoon of granulated garlic mixed with 1 tablespoon granulated onion and 1 teaspoon ground celery seed mixed together. Use it like you would salt, and it's kind of awesome. I'm going to put some basil in here. One thing that um, local spicery, I don't know why I was going to call it savory spicy spicer.
I like that name.
Right, savory spicy. Um, I believe they put a little bit of mustard. They use some different chilies. So like you could put some ancho or guajillo in there. They use a little bit of anise, but I'm using more fennel. So any spice blend, you might be like, well, Kathy likes it like this, but I like it like that. And that's still fine. I have some ground fennel seed, and we're going to use about half a teaspoon of that. And then we're going to use anywhere from 1/4 to 1/2 teaspoon of ground black pepper. Just depends. It's going to make it a little spicier. Cheryl, my wife, doesn't like it spicy, so we make it a little bit less spicy. And then you can put some red pepper flakes, which I usually leave out for her. And so I'm gonna, and what you can do too right now is just, I'll let you see inside of here. We're just gonna blend it. You could use a spice grinder or coffee grinder. I'm just using the small thing on my blender. I'm gonna smell the local spicery. And then you can kind of go back and forth. They have some more whole spices in theirs, and that's great. That you can see the mustard seeds. I think I'm going to add, I feel like my fennel's a little flat, so I'm going to add just a little bit extra. We can also taste it later on. Okay, so then I'm just going to blend it. And here's the thing, right now I'm making 1 batch. If I could do this once or twice a year and make like, what is it? What was the lady that had all the babies? I forget what that, like you can make 10 of them, 8 of them.
Octomom?
That's
Octomom?
it. You can make an Octomom version of it.
Here, Lydia says, Kathy, I bought liquid lactic acid and it says to be careful when you handle it. Is it the same thing as the powdered one?
Which one? Say that one more time,
She
please.
said liquid lactic acid.
I've never used liquid lactic acid. I've stuck my finger in right into the lactic acid and tasted it. It's not like an acid like, oh my God, don't touch that. You're going to burn yourself or you need, it's just a little bit tart. But I want you to see, this is all it is. That was it. Now I've made a whole spice blend, right? And that was even with me yammering on during it. It's really easy. And then if you're like my friend Jeremy, not only could he add pepper, he could go in and add, I don't know, ghost pepper to it. Or if you really wanted to have a little more mustard, or if you didn't like smoky foods, maybe you don't like smoked paprika, make yours with plain paprika. And the Italian spice blend takes about that much time. So with both of these, some of my favorite things to do, not just for pizza. So I always keep some riced cauliflower in the freezer, saute it, then put one of your Italian sausage blend, pepperoni blend, I have a book coming out in the fall that's going to be potions and powders. I have things like andouille sausage. I have Mexican blend, right? I can make any of these things. And I even did some potato chip flavors. So I have a ketchup seasoning that's salt free. I have a dill pickle seasoning. It does have some vinegar in it, so I don't know if it has any sodium content. I haven't checked that, but it doesn't have any added salt. Um, and so there's a lot of fun things like that. Another thing I like, you could also take the Italian sausage. You could put that on with your cauliflower. You could sprinkle it on top of salads. You could sprinkle it on top of a baked potato. You could make a pizza baked potato and never even have to make the crust. I don't know if you guys saw when I made that sweet potato pie for Thanksgiving. I used a big sweet potato and pushed it down round, and then I put toppings on it. So you could take a potato, cut it, push it down nice, put your tomato sauce on it, put this Italian sausage cauliflower, either the mozzarella scooped, which you cook a little bit before you put it on the pizza, or if you don't feel like bothering with that, you blend the ingredients for the pourable mozz and it sets up. So then you could just put your potato and all those goodies in the oven, and then you would have a pizza potato. And
Mm.
that's why I wanted to talk a little bit about the bits and pieces, because I think sometimes people go, well, that's great, but I needed to soak those lentils before I made that crust. Yeah, but if you've got a potato in there, or if you wanted to spiralize a zucchini and maybe put some tomato sauce with it, and you could sprinkle even just pepperoni spice on top of it to give it a lot of flavor. And there's no reason to be eating something that doesn't make you happy. And so if you're having trouble with like spiralized zucchini, maybe you really need to be eating that. In the summer, I can eat it all the time. In the winter, I'm like, I want butternut squash. So what I do when I have a zucchini in the summer is literally I chop it up, I saute it with Mexican spices, and I make a taco out of it. So that way I'm still getting out the things, and I'm not breaking any of my own food rules, but it gives something exciting, a really good reason, and I'll eat more zucchini that way, which is zucchini and peas are my two hard veggies.
Oh. Hey, Kathy, there's a question. What is the difference between Korean chili flakes and just red pepper flakes?
It's going to have to do with the chili it's actually made from. So, like if you go to H Mart, which is a Korean market, you're going to see different chilies for sale than you would if we went to Li Ming's, which is my local Asian Chinese grocery. So in the Chinese section, and also then the chilies that are in the Indian market or in the Indian section of one of those stores. It's just a different varietal. Some will be hotter and some will be milder. With the Korean pepper, and I don't know why, I just gochugaru. Gochugaru is the one that they make kimchi with and they do all that. That's the dried red pepper blend. But even here, I have guajillo pepper chili powder, ancho chili powder. I have chili blend. I have jalapeno. So each one has a slightly different flavor. Most of the red ones, it's you're looking for the spice and the amount of fruitiness. Like to me, an ancho chili brings a lot of fruitiness, a lot of umami, a lot of yummy layers.
Great, thank you. And there's a question from a live viewer. Have you ever made any jelly or jelly-like foods with chia seeds and fruit or fruit juices?
I have not. I've used some agar agar before, but no, you should. I mean, the closest thing would be chia pudding. And so, I mean, I've used chia pudding, I've used chia seeds to thicken non-dairy milk. But no, I haven't done that. I think it would work though. You might have to add a significant amount. So depending on what doctor you follow, you might want to see like chia seeds add up fast. I found. I don't know about you, Chef AJ. Like all of a sudden you're putting a half a teaspoon and then there's like a quarter a cup in there.
Hey, Bob, before I forget, what do you like about the bundle other than your wonderful book? And Cheryl's got some products in it as well this time.
Yeah, Cheryl and her friends who did the Food Revolution coaching program right along with you, Chef
Mhm.
AJ.
Yep.
They have something about coaching in the bundle. And so I think that's really good because I think all of us at one time or another could use a little helping hand with things. And what they're doing is kind of explaining why you might think about using a coach. And I think that's not talked about a lot. And then the thing I'm really excited about making stuff from is Chef Julia's cookie book.
Yep.
Like, I'm feeling that. Like, I have, with me not feeling well for a long time, I've literally had brown rice and bananas mostly for like 2 weeks. So I'm like, one day my goal cookie will happen. So, but everything in the bundle is always really good. I mean, the burger recipes that are in there, the raw recipes. I mean, I'm always enticed, especially since we're kind of turning the corner, getting ready for summer. And I do tend to eat more raw foods in the summer, and it's kind of fun to have these recipes to play with. And one thing I would say to people who are like, well, I don't have time to go through 80 some contributions, you don't have to. What I always do is I download them all, and then sometime during the year, it's the right time for what I already have, which is kind of good. Like right now, obviously, I haven't been exercising a lot since I've been having a couple of cups of brown rice a day, right? So I'm hoping in the next couple of weeks to really dig into some of the yoga and the exercise and kind of get that help that I need. And then probably right around June is when I'll start looking at all the raw recipes and started trying some of those. Raw Chef Yen's recipes for the Korean barbecue look amazing. So I just always think the bundle is such a good value because you only need to really use one or two things and you've got your money's worth. And then you have all year. And really, if you download everything, you have forever to come back and look at it later. Like maybe now you might be like, yeah, pizza just really isn't on my radar right now. But maybe in July you want to have a pizza party, invite all your friends over with stuff you can eat.
Yes, absolutely. I agree. How often do you make pizza in general?
Oh, for a while during the summer, we were making it once a week and having people come over. So what I do like about, so a long time ago, we were buying some of those ready-made crusts. And this is very similar to that because basically you make the batter in the blender and then let's see, do I have one of these? I've got some little measuring cups that are real flat. So I'll take it out, put it on the parchment paper, and then just spread it out. So it's really easy into a circle. So you could once a month or every other month, you could make a bunch of those and they freeze really great. And so what I used to do is then I would just pull out of the pantry because these were shelf stable. And then I just put my sauce and my stuff on and I could still have people over. Most of these toppings, so like if you made the cauliflower sausage or you made pepperoni mushrooms, you could freeze those in pizza-sized things, and then you could still put all that on. And the cheese sauce doesn't take any time at all to make. But hopefully we'll start entertaining again. Our dog who didn't like people to come over passed last year, so we're starting to have more people over. So it could be a pizza party every Friday night again over the summer.
Wow, I wish I lived near you.
I wish you did too. I'd love to feed you.
My God, that would be a dream come true. Maybe we can have a commune. Oh my gosh, I would love to talk to you forever, but our mutual friend is coming on the show in like 2 or 3 minutes. Ross Chef Yin, have you checked her book out?
Yeah, I'm excited about her Korean barbecue for sure. She makes some really awesome stuff. And she used arrowroot in the cheese. So that's when she did mine, that's why it didn't stretch, just so everybody knows. But if you don't care if it stretches, and it's still going to taste really delicious.
Yeah, I betcha. Well, you want to tell everybody where you're going tomorrow?
I'm going on the holistic health cruise to the Caribbean.
Ay,
And
caramba.
I know, right? And I'm very excited. So hopefully we'll be doing some content around that as well. Yes,
Like
fingers crossed.
you're gonna film some stuff, huh?
That's the goal. So let's see if we can make it happen. But it's just always a pleasure to get to talk to you, and I've missed you.
Me too. Well, maybe you'll come to Vegas, baby.
We're out of town, or I would.
Where are you going?
I think that's in which we're
August.
August. We're in the UK from
Wow.
July through the beginning of September.
Well, who's gonna watch your pets?
We have house sitters and stuff
Oh,
lined up. So like this year, because we're doing so much for the Plant-Based Explorer channel, our new channel, the Plant-Based Explorers. So we're doing we're doing 2 trips this month, 3 trips in April, 1 trip in June, 1 trip in, well, and then like July through September, there's like 4 trips. So I'm ready to spend some fall at home.
okay. Kathy, good to see you. Have a safe voyage. And I'd love to hear all about it when you get back.
That sounds great. Have a great rest of the bundle week.
Thank you, Kathy. And if you want to get the bundle from Kathy, click the link below. And if you want to get the bundle from Yin, she's